Good afternoon. It is November the 24th. And yes, we did get more snow. Perhaps not quite as much as they threatened us with, but still plenty. I haven't shoveled yet, so I'm getting a pretty good feel for how much is here. Some cat or rabbit has been up our walk, I see. We sometimes get a lot of rabbits around here, but those look more like rabbit tracks than cat tracks, too. So. Anyway, this will be not a terribly long walk, but long enough, considering I'll be wading through snow at least part of the time. I'm going to go over to the dike and walk along it over to Elphinstone, up to 13th. Really where I'm going is the grocery store, Safeway, which is really a 5-minute walk, but I'm going to try to drag it out here. Some sidewalks have been cleared. That's the other thing I have to do when I get back to the house is shovel. But at least it's fluffy snow this time. Last week, when we got our first big snow, it started really wet, so it was very heavy. This won't be very heavy, so that's nice. You can see it sparkling. There's actually another little bit of snow in the forecast for this afternoon, but I'll still want to get... You end up shoveling almost every day sometimes. There's even a centimeter, you want to get it off, so it doesn't get packed down and turn into ice. Sometimes I'm really good at that, sometimes not so good. Sun came out at least. Did a podcast this morning. If you go to theworldshapers.com, you can see that. I interviewed Brad C. Anderson, author of Ashmi Song, science fiction novel I'll be publishing through Shadowpaw Press here on December 17th is its release date. So that's up now. It's on YouTube too. If you're watching this on my YouTube channel, you can find it readily on my YouTube channel. See, I'm quite impressed with the amount of clearing that's gone on along here. Somebody's been along with a snowblower. Not this morning, but probably late yesterday when it looked like when it stopped for a little bit, and then it started snowing a bit again. I did say we got 20 centimeters. This doesn't quite look like 20 centimeters to me, but not like I'm measuring it. That'd be about 8 inches. It's -9 is the temperature, if you're wondering. Even the alleys look festive, and it snows. So, are we going to have a white Christmas? Signs point to yes, as the Magic 8 Ball would say. We always do. Almost always. Even when it's a brown Christmas, there's usually snow lurking somewhere in the shade. It just melted off so that the ground itself isn't completely covered. But there's no question that white is the way to bed. It's one of the selling points when I moved up here from Texas as a kid. We'd have snow for Christmas, and sure enough, we did. Stick to the sidewalk. You know, this part hasn't been all that well cleared. I guess so, because it's cleared a little further up. Of course, it's the spruce trees that always look the most Christmassy when you get fresh snow. I also have to take the car out tonight to go to Wascana Voices rehearsal, which means I'll have to sweep it off at some point. And yes, tomorrow I'm taking our second car in to put on snow tires that we have. I thought I had more time, and then here we go. Should have put it on at the beginning of November. But I put it off. They came with the car. I mean, we bought it used. So first thing I'm going to have them do is check to make sure that they're still worth putting on and aren't so worn out that it's kind of silly. Assuming they still have some life in them, I'll have them put on. that car only gets driven around town. There's almost no reason for it to ever go on the highway. So you won't wear the snow tires very fast, whatever's left of them. All right, up onto the dike, along the dike to Elphinstone, up Elphinstone to 13th, down 13th to Safeway. That's the plan. And lots of people along here already, including some cross-country skiers, it looks like. Still fairly heavy walking, though. Which will slow me down, make me breathe harder. No open water showing now. Here, anyway. We'll see what it looks like up by the bridge, where there was still some last time I came this way. Is it better in the middle? It's better in the middle. It's about the same. I may cross the bridge instead of walking on the dike. The other side, the path is probably better cleared than over here. And this is fairly heavy going, walking and talking at the same time. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I want to keep walking along the uncleared dike. There's at least a possibility they've cleared path on the other side. Pardon my breathing. It's kind of a necessity. Not even sure why it's so much harder. Like the balance, catching yourself all the time. It's not like you're lifting a huge weight of snow, and yet it's way more tiring. You're pushing down through the snow, but you don't drag it up with your feet. It's not like walking in mud. Yeah, this was still open water when I walked along here. What day was that? Wednesday? Now it's frozen over and covered in snow. Oh, somebody said hello. Good afternoon, Ishak. I think I will cross the bridge and see if the pathway is better cleared, because this is heavy going. Although if we stayed over here, we might see some kids tobogganing, but it's not worth the wear and tear on me. Yeah, that was still open water on Wednesday. And now it's thoroughly frozen, waiting for the bridge to be emptied because there's a bunch of people crossing all at once. It's a regular traffic jam. In fact, on Wednesday, it was right up here. I ran into somebody who was telling me about a beaver he'd seen. All right, so looking east. There aren't any animal footprints in the snow yet either, so it's very unbroken here on the creek. Looking west. There's the wind. It's sharpish. Okay, does this look any better than the dike, or did I? No, it's not going to be any better at all. Maybe just as heavy walking over here. Oh well, I'm here now. There's actually a groomed path there, it looks like. The sidewalk up there looks clearer. Maybe I'll go up to the sidewalk, walk down to Elphinstone that way instead of following the path. There's clearly been something along there. I'll look over into Lakeview neighborhood. Oh yeah, this will be much better. Much better. Okay. A little longer, I suppose, because it doesn't follow. On the other hand, it's straight, not curved. Have to do the math. Or use my pedometer app to see, and do both, and see which one takes more steps. Over there, those people are is where the tobogganing takes place, the other side of the creek. In a little dip bowl. Make much better time up here, and not nearly as hard work. Over there, where kids go tobogganing. It's actually a flood control basin, but I've never seen water in it. I've only ever seen kids tobogganing in it. Walking along Regina Avenue, straight toward the airport. About a half-hour walk from here would take us to the terminal. Maybe 40 minutes. Probably half an hour. If you have any luggage at all, you could just walk to the airport, but even pulling a carry-on, it would be a pain. Plus, it's not particularly pedestrian friendly when you get close to the airport. They don't anticipate anybody walking to the airport. There aren't really any sidewalks. Kiwanis Waterfall Park over there. Waterfall is artificial and is turned off for the winter, of course. We'll turn right at the light, go down Elphinstone. Should get the wind out of my direct face. It seems to be blowing straight from the west at the moment. So we're walking due west. I am. I don't know what you're doing. Collectively, those of us who are virtually walking due west with me, I guess is the word I'm looking for. I always say viscosity. I knew that was wrong. Virtually, not viscously or viciously. All right, as I said, Kiwanis Waterfall Garden. So we're there. Yes, the city has come along and cleared this, which is nice. And it's because it's a bus route. Must have done it this morning too, because there was more snow overnight, so if they'd done it late yesterday, we would have more on it than this. The sound of someone scraping their windshield. Here you can see down into the park a little bit. Oops. As I said, no waterfall. No kids on the playground. The wind is still in my face, so it must be blowing from the northwest. Would make sense. It's actually supposed to get very cold later in the week, like minus 27, minus 28 for a low, and not breaking minus 20 during the day. So that's pretty cold. I can walk in those temperatures, but I have to really want to and dress for it. Long underwear, extra socks, just to be comfortable, heavier gloves. Then I work up a huge sweat, of course. So it's kind of always trying to find the happy medium. Technically, Elphinstone is that. This turns into Montague Street at this intersection, and Elphinstone does this weird little half circle thing, quarter circle thing. But I think of the whole thing as Elphinstone, even though I know it's not. Now you know it too. Oh, very easy walking. I'm glad I came to the sidewalk, because that would have been a huge slog over there where the path is. Hello. Trying to read it. Constantinos, I guess. Thank you. Been doing it a long time now. Not quite as religiously as I did when I started. I didn't miss a day for half a year, but now it's more like 4 or 5 times a week, depending on when I can combine it with something else. Usually, like I'm really walking to the grocery store. I'm just taking a really long way to do it. So it's always nice if I can combine the walk with something else. Tomorrow, as I said, I'm taking one of the cars in for snow tires. That means it'll be a walk either to or from South Albert. I haven't quite decided which. I have to end up downtown. So, yeah, I haven't quite decided what I'll do. Probably a walk to after the car has been picked up, maybe. Although a walk in the morning has its good points too, because the sun would be coming up, so that would be more interesting lighting. I don't plan to walk both ways tomorrow. If I walked there, I'd start all the way downtown, so it'd be a good hour and a bit walk, I think. Still, might do it. I guess we'll both find out tomorrow. We'll all find out tomorrow. This is Kiwanis Baseball Park, home of the National League. Not that National League. A local National League is what that is. Not a National League. Definitely not the National League. The NBA. NBA? NBL. Major League. MLB. That's it. Major League Baseball. NBA. MLB. There is Sherman Park, but I'm not going over there today. This whole thing is called Kiwanis Park, as you might have guessed. And here's the home of the Regina Horseshoe Club. Not a winter activity. But there's their pitches. And then we're coming up to the creek again. I don't think we will see any open water now until spring. It'd be very unusual if we did. You might still see a little bit on the surface at times. Okay, so here's the creek again. Get the middle. I'll do the traditional look along it. All right. There's the creek from the Elphinstone Street Bridge looking east. And on we go. Regina Art Gallery over there. Well, Neil Balkwell's Civic Arts Center. Regina Art Gallery is in there. You can take art classes over there. And I'm really surprised I never have taken advantage of it because I was an art minor and I love doing art, but can't do everything. The reason I can't get back to it, I'm retired, theoretically. I'm 65, but I'm not retired. I'm working harder than ever. I mean, just doing what I've always done. What retirement would look like for me. Write a book. Done that. Write more books. That sounds like a plan. You need stopping publishing them, though. Or at least cutting back, which is a strong possibility. Not the stopping, but the cutting back is almost for sure. I will be publishing fewer books going forward than I have been the last year, for sure. Although I'm already up to 8, I think, for next year. And that's just through summer, so 1 a month. I'm thinking there might be a few more in the fall, a couple of reprints maybe of my own. I don't know. We'll see. Just thinking out loud. Nothing is written in stone or snow. Once I get up here, instead of going up to 13th, I will zig into the cathedral area over here. I think, just to avoid these endless long straight walks. College Avenue. A lot of ice under the snow right here. Okay, there we go. Do I just want to walk along 13th, or do I want to do a little jog? Maybe with the heavy snow, I'll stay on the main roads after all. Okay, we'll just go straight into 13th and turn right. Yeah. Even the alleys look picturesque in the snow. So to put it all in perspective, a week ago there was no snow on the ground. Now there is. And more in the forecast. No big dumps at the moment, but smaller ones are already in the long range forecast. So, and no thaws in the long range forecast. Oh well, when I buy my Christmas tree, I always like to do it when there's snow on the ground. It feels more appropriate. Kind of hate it when we go out there and there's no snow. Pick out a tree, so I'll probably do that next weekend or thereabouts. Actually surprised the sidewalks are so well cleared along here. It looks like everybody cleared them. Or they all hired the same person. I'm tempted to hire a company to do mine. They do our neighbors, although they aren't very quick about it. Down 15th down there. This looks icy. Oh, I meant to bring a bag. Oh well. Not buying anything too big. I can probably just put it in my pockets. What's he got in his pockets? His groceries. Nobody ever guessed that. Gollum never guessed that he had groceries in his pockets. There's someone snow blowing. I do have a snow blower, but I find it's harder to use it than to just shovel. It's a pain to get out, to plug it in. It's heavy. So, yeah. I could see using it. Big drift formed behind the carport and the car was out there. That's about when I would think it would make sense. Just for the sidewalks. Quick run over it with the shovel works just as well for most snows. And as I said, this one should be fluffy, so when I shovel when I get back, it shouldn't be nearly as hard as the one earlier in the week, or early last week. No, this sidewalk's not clear. It's the only one along here, I think, just about. Only portion of it. Whew. Okay. 2 more blocks, or a block and a half to 13th. And then just down 13th to Safeway. How far to here? Almost half an hour, so it'll be about a 45-minute walk. I thought it might be shorter than that. That's a good walk. I used to strive to always do an hour, but I quit that a long time ago. Now it's whatever, however it works out. This is 14th. Over there is Connaught School, the new one. I tore down a really old one. Built that new one a few years ago. As I comment, people who really knew the old school fought not to have it torn down. But for kids now, probably there's no longer any kids in that would have gone to the old school. I would think so. Of course, they love having a new school. Oh. It's a little front end blower there near the sidewalk at the school. Could be a school board clearing that. The school board. That's a public school. The public school board. Yes, my breathing got far less heavy once I was on cleared sidewalks instead of wading through the snow. Funny that. Alrighty. We will turn right here. It's not too much further down. We'll go past Connaught Library here on the right, the red brick building. That used to be a 7-Eleven, I think, on that corner. Some sort of convenience store. It's had a couple of coffee shops in it recently. The current one is called Pause Coffee. Where there's one called Happy High. Regina Public Library, Connaught Branch. And more snow clearing happening over there. And then Slate Fine Art Gallery. There's the front of Connaught Library. That used to be one of our favorite restaurants over there that now says Auntie Maggie's. But a couple of restaurants before that, it was called Creek and Cathedral Bistro, and we liked it a lot. Before Slate turned into Fine Art Gallery, it was a CrossFit gym. And it was something else before that. Slate's been there quite a while now. Nice gallery. We don't go in as often as you'd think we would because we like galleries. But we got a lot of art already. We don't They have wall space, I don't think, for anything too major at the moment. Montague Street. I assume that's an apartment building. I don't know why it has a statue in front of it, which has a very churchy feel to it. It does. Cold looking statue at the moment. Perhaps it was connected to the Catholic Church at some point, because coming up on the right is the old nunnery and then the cathedral itself. And fairly clear along here, so that's very helpful. Not too much farther now. I hope you've enjoyed this walk in the snow so far. It's not quite over, but soon. Soon. Nobody's cleared this one, unless that's what that guy behind me is about to do. So yeah, this used to be the nunnery for the church. I don't know what order it was. So now it's condos. I've been in there. It's had, last time I was in there, the space that had been a chapel is still chapelish. I don't know what to use it for now. I sang in it, I think, for something. Anyway, there's the front of it. Over there is the 13th Avenue Coffee House, which for some reason I never go into. Well, I know why. The tables aren't particularly conducive to me settling in and writing, which is what I like in a coffee shop. Here's the cathedral, of course. That little bit of snow made me breathe harder again. Holy Rosary Cathedral. Look up, look way up. And there's the front with the Keep Christ in Christmas sign, appropriate for a cathedral. I sang in here too a few times. It's about 100 years old, 110 I think, maybe. I think it was built in 1914. Unfortunately, Penny University Bookstore is no longer over there. Something else has moved in. They went out of business. 2 dogs, the price of 1. Excuse me. And here's Westminster United. Lovely place to sing. And in fact, our current Wascana Voices concert is going to be at Christ Lutheran over in Dudney. But our March concert, our spring concert, will be here, which will be nice. It's really a nice space to sing in. Two more blocks. There's Westminster United. Main entrance. It's a domed auditorium, so some of the older buildings over there, they've been here a long time. They all Still looking nice with businesses in it. Randy's Corner Store. Mostly I use that as my post office. I need to mail something. Okay. Slowing down my walk to catch my breath a little before I go into the Safeway. There's a sign. Fish store to my right. This is some sort of salon here with the artwork. You can see the giant scissors there. Oh, pub here. Takeaway Gourmet. Basically a cheese store, but they have some other stuff in there. And I will stop right here with the view of Safeway. So, thanks for walking with me. I should be back tomorrow, probably with a long walk to South Albert or back from South Albert. Bye for now.